Here comes Scales, slithering hither and thither. Get up, sucker, now it's time to deliver. Cobra Commando once tried to hold a candle, but Evander and Foreman and even Tyson couldn't handle the host of the show with the Technodrome, you know, giving their opinion in the Serpentine Dominion. Got something else to do. I almost laughed. Give it the shaft. It's time for Scales Snake Draft.
Welcome, everybody, to the first official edition of Scales Snake Draft. A new segment here with Throwbacks with the Technodrome. I know we ventured into this area for an episode a couple weeks ago for our favorite football movies back in Super Bowl, when Super Bowl was going down a few months ago. But we want to make this segment a regular thing on our show. So we'll bring it to you, I don't know, maybe once a month or every 6 weeks or so. So be on the lookout for this new mainstay here on our channel.
We liked it and we forced Scales to do it.
Yeah,
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So
this will probably be in the place of a throwdown every now and again.
Yeah,
because it's similar style.
Yeah.
And plus, we felt like I needed a theme song, and I felt like I needed a little more attention music-wise.
Yes. Cass does tremendous work with all the music.
Yes, he does. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. All right, let's get into it.
Sorry.
Round of applause. So this week, I decided for our first official snake draft, I wanted to go full sports mode, and I wanted to go back to the 90s, get your starter jacket on, get NBA Jam into your game system, get your NBA on NBC music going.
Oh, I wish we had that going right now. Bum, bum. Sorry. That's when basketball was still good. Whoops.
It's your Marv Albert commentary. Yes. We are going
John
to draft
Starks
from downtown. Yes.
Was that before or after he was biting women? Ooh.
Oh,
During.
Anyway,
we are going to be drafting our favorite 90s NBA roster.
Ooh.
So we have a list of players from the 90s. We put some down. Maybe you have some sneak picks in your head that you didn't tell us about. And we're gonna draft a full roster. So point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. So we'll each have 5 picks. And Duffy will have the first pick, and Castano will go second, and I'll go third. And then obviously we'll snake back around till we get through our full roster. So we're not gonna put a timer on the clock because
No timer.
We'll just keep it moving.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's do it. Joseph Duffman, the first pick of the Technodrome's 90s NBA draft, is who?
And I, Joseph Duffman, would like to select number 1 overall, the center from the Houston Rockets, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. Hard to pick this one because he kind of ended it for the Knicks back when I first started getting into basketball back in '94. It was tough to watch him, but I got to give credit where credit is due. The guy is just a dominant force, and I think he is a great player to build around. Centers like him just don't come around like that much anymore. And that's my pick. Hakeem the Dream. Let's do it.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
big, athletic. Yes.
And again, this is coming from a Knicks fan who passed
tough
up on Patrick Ewing. So,
wow.
But the Dream has a ring. Patty doesn't.
Yeah. Well,
Shout out to Patty Ewing.
Yeah.
Hall Ball College.
Jay Sloth. Well, you know what? Since you didn't pick him, I'll pick him. I'll pick Patrick Ewing.
Yes.
I was also grew up pretty big Knicks fan. I really fell off once Ewing left the team, and then once Sprewell and Houston were gone, then it was like no reason to watch. I haven't watched a Knicks game in about 22 years, I want to say. But Patty Ewing was the iconic. He was the guy for New York. He was the guy on the Knicks from the time that we were born, pretty much until he left in the late 90s. And he was so good. He's powerful, also athletic, maybe not the same level of athleticism as Olajuwon, but he big rebounding presence, big post up, decent foul shooter, could shoot from outside. He had all the tools wasn't really too quick, and especially once his his legs started bothering him a little more.
He's
But
crap.
he's just like he just couldn't pull it together to win the championship. He just even when he had the supporting cast,
Stark screwed him.
Didn't all come together. But he was the guy that they should have been able to build the team around and bring the championship home after not having won since the 70s, and they just couldn't get it done. But Patty Ewing deserves all the respect. Hall of Famer, dream team. I mean, you make the dream team, you're it. So Patty Ewing, center.
Good choice.
Sense a theme beginning here. I'm going to continue the theme.
Oh.
Even though maybe these
I know what you're going to go with.
Our fantasy fans out there would say this is a dumb pick because centers are off the board and I don't need to pick one. But you know what? Screw you. I'm picking
that way.
My favorite NBA player of all time, Big Aristotle himself.
There we go.
Shaquille O'Neal. That's my first pick.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, what do you say about Shaq? So dominant. Probably maybe one of the most dominant players in NBA history. I mean, who could guard this guy other than Olajuwon in the 95 finals?
Basically.
He had his number, but that was young Shaq. When Shaq got to LA, I mean, he was unstoppable.
I mean, this is before he had car insurance through the General, so he's unstoppable.
He didn't have the General in his corner. You're right.
It's once he became a genie in Kazam, then he granted himself those magic powers, except for foul shooting.
Yeah, never got the magic power of the perfect foul shot, but he didn't need it. You give him the ball in the post, and it was over. Once he backed you down, it was over. Whether it was a demolished shattered glass on the backboard, or he pulled the whole freaking net down. I mean, the guy was just an animal, and we had seen nothing like him when he came into the league. There was nothing like him before, and maybe nothing like him again at that position, since they don't even have centers in the NBA anymore. Basically,
he kind of revolutionized the role. He made it.
There was one guy who I think we're not mentioning who was also a center who was pretty dominant. I don't know if you know this guy.
He's dominant in his own right. The shot blocking machine, Dikembe Mutombo. Yeah, good. Another 90s legend right there.
I once saw Shaq at a bar.
Really?
In New York, like let's say maybe like 7-8 years ago, and he is a big individual.
He would have probably been cool with you, like coming up to him too. As far as it
seems like
some of my friends I was with, I think, took a picture with him.
Yeah.
I walked past him, and he's just...
him and Barkley apparently are like pretty cool if you go up to him.
Yeah. I'd love
shadowing.
One day. Oh, spoiler alert! Duffy's next pick. All right, round 2. I'm gonna take my second pick here.
Hence the snake part of this draft.
Yeah, we're snaking back.
Snake.
I mean, I'm not gonna let this guy go past me here, so I'm gonna take Michael Jordan. I mean,
as you should.
Yeah, I mean, I went with the center theme. Yeah, I know, Duffy, you don't like Jordan. I didn't like him as a kid.
I don't. If I'm picking him or LeBron, I'm going Jordan.
Well, that's not even a comparison. That's Jordan all the way. I wasn't a fan of Jordan when I was younger, just because I loved the Magic when I was a kid, because I loved Shaq, and he seemed to always be in the way. And obviously, I always rooted for New York teams a little bit too, and he's just always in the way. But at the end of the day, the guy's, he's the GOAT. 6 titles.
But he was
he's a brand. I mean, he's just more than a player.
He was so much more than basketball.
Right.
When we were younger, he was cartoons, commercials,
movies.
Yeah, sneaker. I mean, the Jordan sneakers is its own brand. I mean, it's bigger than a brand now. It's just
Space Jam.
It's still, Space Jam. Yeah, it's just
with a lot of these guys that we're talking about on there too.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I got Shaq and Jordan so far. Next, we're going back to cast. Who you got?
I have to say that's a great pick too, because I almost rooted for the Knicks and Bulls equally as a kid. I didn't hate Jordan.
Really?
We grew up in the Jordan era. I love Jordan.
Yeah.
Fan then.
Hold on, wait till you hear what I'm about to say next.
Oh boy.
My shooting guard is going to be Charles Smith. Yeah, Charles Smith, Kurt Thomas. We're really putting things together here.
All right.
Chris Childs.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Marcus Camby. I'm going with Reggie. Reggie Miller. I hated Reggie Miller. I hated his guts. I hated Reggie Miller's guts when I was a kid. But if we're putting together an all-time great team, if I don't have Jordan, what if he was on the Knicks? If Reggie Miller was on the Knicks stuff,
he wasn't.
I know,
but he
but
wasn't.
I'm assembling my team,
What
and I'm going to
ifs?
call it the Knicks. I'm
No.
going to call it this. I'm going to call it the Casts. How about that? Now I have
Mm,
Ewing at center and Reggie at
mm.
shooting guard. That game, I remember watching that game where he scored however many the crazy
It was
number of
like
points in
8
like 8
points in
seconds.
like 5 seconds or something.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
that.
something
It was
ridiculous.
absurd.
Just the look on his face, you wanted
Ugh.
to just smash it.
Mhm.
It's like what Michael Scott says to Toby. It's like, I just want to smash your face. um yeah, it's just like, but he was so clutch. And anytime the Knicks played the Pacers, like, your blood pressure was going to go up.
It was going 7
30
games no matter
points.
what. It was
Ugh.
going 7 games. You just knew it.
Yeah. Rick Smits, who looked like he was wearing loafers.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I mean,
Some of the guys on that
I
list.
despised Reggie as a kid, but I mean, got to give credit where it's due, man.
Like,
He was something else. So
All right,
if
there
I
you
can't
go.
have MJ, and there was no definitive Knicks shooting guard to pick, so I'm going with Reggie, and I picked him over Clyde, which is pretty tough.
That's a tough one. All right, one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time, maybe the best in
Nah.
the group. Okay, Duff.
I'm going defense here for my next 2 picks. I'm going Nick Greats here, in my opinion. I'd like to see any team try to score against me with the Dream, with Charles Oakley at power forward, and I'm putting in at small forward. He's not listed here, and rest in peace, the one-handed free throw shooter, Anthony Mason. I'd like to see anybody.
The lefty.
Yes.
Too.
I mean, he's
Very
technically
nice.
listed maybe as a power forward, but when, the heyday, he was kind of dropping down in that small forward position for him. And no one's going to score against me here. I mean, and we're going to play a little dirty, and, games are actually going to, like, final scores are going to be like 80-79. I mean, those are the good games. I love that stuff. Everything was hard. They didn't call as many fouls. They kind of just let things happen. And, that's how you had some of those great fights back in the 90s with the Knicks, like when they got in that fight with the Heat that time, and Jeff Van Gundy is like getting thrown like a rag doll, and
He's holding on
PJ
to
Brown
Marty's
is like,
leg.
yeah. PJ Brown is like body slamming like Chris Ward or Chris Child, one of those guys. And those days were the best. Even like, Ewing getting in it, and like just all those, you just don't see basketball like that anymore. It's unfortunate. I miss that basketball.
I think Van Gundy and David Cohn have a look who looks like they slept less competition. Van Gundy
with
wins.
the hair.
Yeah, he does.
The hair is like all over. Yeah.
Legends.
Those are my 2 next picks. So
All right.
good luck scoring on me.
Oh, man.
Damn, tough.
Yeah. You really threw a monkey wrench into my power forward pick there. I would have loved to pick Oakley. Good job. Yeah, and you don't even want to beat Oakley because then he'll just slap you around off the court. He's a badass. Do you ever hear
He is a
stories about him?
badass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently he did not like Ewing that much. They didn't really get along.
Really?
They were
Really?
not friends, and Oakley tells all these stories now about like Ewing was not a good teammate. But who knows? It's like it's hard to believe half of this stuff. They're just, Oakley's getting thrown out of the garden and everything all the time. But like I don't know. It's hard to know who's telling what and how these stories are being perceived. But
Yeah. All right.
All right, Cass.
All right. So I'm gonna pick Karl Malone.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, how do you
Karl Malone.
How do you not? I mean,
Yeah. Mailman.
got
Mm-hmm.
just a member of a stacked Jazz team, a number of stacked Jazz teams, and yeah, I mean, speaking of power, the guy's huge and incredibly athletic, could wrestle.
Did. Threw a diamond cutter on somebody.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I mean, Malone, another dream team member, just a real force of nature. So going with the mailman.
They could just never get over that hump and win that championship, though.
Yeah,
they always ran into Jordan.
Jordan
Jordan would have like 125 fever, and he's still dropping 50 on him.
125 fever.
With all 5 guys on the court plus half the bench covering him.
Doesn't matter.
It didn't matter. All right, I'm up. I am.
What do we got? By the way, if you want to trade in your picks, just let me know. I'll talk to your brother Tony, and we'll.
We can throw in a couple first rounders.
Yeah, first round picks here next year.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna team Shaq up with my other favorite player from my childhood that I'm donning this shirt here. Penny Hardaway. He's gonna be my point guard today.
Nice.
Penny was He was one of my favorites when I was a kid.
So much potential. He could have been so much more. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, that knee injury really curtailed his career. But before he got hurt, he was
Anthony
Penny Hardaway. Yes, yeah. Don't forget Little Penny, little puppet. He had a commercial.
Oh yeah,
he had some badass sneakers.
He did have some good sneakers.
That's Sprite.
It was the Sprite commercials.
So.
Yeah, it was Sprite. Just a great. He was not a prototypical point guard like a Stockton, more of a scoring point guard, but he could still.
He was a Knick for a little bit.
He was a Knick at the end of his career. Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. After Orlando, he went to Phoenix for a bit, and then he went to the Knicks. But I mean, he was never what he was early on in his career. But
that sounds like a New York thing to do. Get the
no, not the Knicks.
In any sport, get the big talent at the end,
downside of
the
their
twilight.
Yeah.
And
Mets
pay
are going to
a
turn
ton
it
of money.
around. Mets are going to turn it around this year. This is it.
Once Bobby Bonilla comes back, right?
Oh my God!
All right,
Bobby Bonilla Day. Oh, we should do a special podcast that day to celebrate Bobby Bonilla Day, July 1st. Let's do it.
Good idea. I like it. All right, 4th round pick. It looks like I need a small forward and a power forward. I'm going to go with a small. No, you know what? Screw it. I'm going for my power forward. And Duffy, you talked about defense on your team and being afraid to go into the paint. I'm taking Rod Zilla, Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
The guy is a freaking maniac on and off the court. Just a rebound machine. I mean, this guy's averaging like 18, 19 rebounds per year at this point in the 90s. Obviously, per game. Sorry, yeah, per game.
18 year.
I could play and average 18, 19 rebounds per year.
Over the years, he was averaging 18, 19 rebounds. Just a absolute. I mean, he wasn't a scorer, but that's not his role, and I don't need him to score. I got freaking Jordan and Shaq. I just need somebody doing some more dirty work in the paint, throwing some bodies around and grabbing boards. So I'm taking.
Did you? I'm sure you watched The Last Dance.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't know how much of a student he was, because he's the wild man. But the fact that he would study different shooters and how the trajectory of the ball and where, so he knew where to be when the ball was released if the guy was going to miss it. It was
smart,
very
dude.
impressive. Yeah, it wasn't just reckless abandon. It was a lot of planning that went into it.
Yeah, don't judge that book by its cover for sure.
Yeah,
Dennis Rodman. All right, Cast, you're up. So looks like you got so far Reggie Miller, Karl Malone, and Patrick Ewing. So we need a point guard or a small forward.
I'm gonna go with Dominique Wilkins for my small forward, guy who can jump up, make change for $1 on the top of the backboard, and still have time to jam it in. Another guy, kind of, he played for the Hawks. Did he play for the Rockets at any point too? Or
I
know he played for the Hawks, but I don't want to say a wasted career, but playing for a team that wasn't a true contender for a lot of time. I feel like if he was in the right place, he could have won a championship. Because another guy, small forward, but played kind of like a shooting guard. One of those guys. Another one, tremendously athletic, amazing to watch, dunk. Jordan got all the credit back in the day as Jumpman and all these amazing dunks, but you watch Dominique like in the competitions. And,
Oh yeah.
He's secretly the better one, but
yeah,
not all around player, but like
dunker, ups, yeah, for sure. Good pick.
Yes, I'm going with Dominique.
All right, Duffy.
All right, I get my last two picks here.
Two picks here, yeah. Point guard or shooting guard.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go shooting guard here. I'm gonna pick just kind of like a pure shooter. I want to say he was he on the Heat for a little bit. I can't remember what other teams he played for. I remember him on the on NBA Jam. I would pick him a lot because he's just like, I don't know, anyone on NBA Jam was like a 3-point shooter, but
especially Patrick Ewing when we played, right?
Frustrating. Catch up mode on there. Oh my God. I'm going Thunder Dan here.
Nice. Dan Marley.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with him. I just need a pure shooter. I already got a lot of defense on my team right now, so I'm going shooter here. And then final pick here. I'm going, he wasn't an amazing point guard, but he was kind of an inspiration to all the short people of the world. Now, this dude was awesome because he was 5'2", and he was a point guard in the NBA. I know he's not listed on our list here, but I'm going Muggsy Bogues. Yes. I mean, this dude was awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Again, he's 5'2", and I can't. All the times that you'd go to like one of those Scholastic book fairs and you'd see like the posters on sale with like Muggsy Bogues standing next to like Shaq or something, and you could buy that poster for your bedroom, and it's like it just. I mean, obviously, I didn't turn into an NBA player, but it gave you like, hey, if that guy can do it, 5'2", I have a chance.
Yep.
And it gave a little hope to that, even though you'd see him out on the court, and he looked so tiny. But he was a Space Jam hero too. He was on there as well, and I don't know. I gotta give credit to the guy. So that's my final pick on a Muggsy.
Muggsy Bogues, I like that. Good pick.
Made a good guest appearance on Curb Your Enthusiasm too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, quick scene.
Nice.
Yeah. Solid pick.
All right, Cass.
I don't really have strong feelings about this one, but my point guard, I'm going with good old John Stockton.
Nice.
I'm taking yet another dream team guy. Repped the 80s, 70s style shorts.
Yes.
Up until the real baggy era. He's just like, nope, I'm just doing it.
Him and Jeff Hornacek.
Yeah. He was a good one. Hornacek, like that.
Yeah, good
part of that jazz.
One of the greatest Knicks coaches of all time.
Hornacek.
I have a whole other episode about like all the teams I root for and how they all suck. We could do that too, but
Senor Segundo. But yeah, Stockton. It's like when you want to teach the kids not to play selfishly. He has how many assists? Right? Is he still the leader by far? Right? Is he?
I don't know for sure, but I want to say yes.
He's up there.
Yeah. It's not all about the glory. It's about being a team player. And Stockton was it. He could shoot, he could play, he did everything well. But he's
the NBA reference.
Sometimes there's.
Sorry, I was going to say 15,806 assists, still the all-time leader. So
who's next on that list?
Jason Kidd with 12,000.
Wow, 3,000.
Not even close. No. Yeah, it's like Nolan Ryan's strikeout record. Nobody's touching it.
Nah,
is there anyone active that's close to that?
Chris Paul has almost 11,000, so he may come close.
I don't think
he's substantial.
Break it.
He's not going to get there. No,
he won't get there, but he'll come close.
Yeah. But finding the guy who can make the shot, you're seeing. It's like you're playing, three-dimensional chess at that point.
Vision.
Yeah, tremendous. And I was watching a clip
ball
about him
handling
recently.
skills.
Yeah. Yeah, he can handle very well. Quicker than you think, and also not as short as you would think. I was watching a clip of Baron Davis, who was a point guard in the NBA in the 2000s, and he was talking about playing against Stockton and watching him as a youngster, and then playing against him, and he was like, I got him on the court, and he was a lot bigger in person than I thought he ever was watching on TV. So
any athlete. Yeah, except for Muggsy Bogues. Any athlete you see, especially like the shortest guy on the court, other than Muggsy Bogues and Spud Webb. Yeah, the shortest guy on the court is going to be a giant. And like even the guys, like especially football players, but basketball players now too. Like the guys who look even like slimmer and slighter are big.
Oh yeah,
who's the point guard that just got traded to? What's that guy? Ben Simmons. Isn't he like 6'10" and he's a point guard?
Yeah, he's tall.
That's crazy.
I feel like that's really tall for a point guard.
Was Magic Johnson a point guard?
Technically, yes.
He was 6'9".
Yeah, he's a big guy.
I feel like you just don't see that kind of height anymore. They'll just throw them to another, they'll throw them to like small forward, or they'll try to use their height to an advantage. But usually the taller they get, usually the ball handling skills don't come with it. But and that's usually like a hindrance with that. But I don't know. That can be a whole. We can get into a sport stuff later. Sorry.
That's why I was a fan of Penny Hardaway. Just to go back to that quick. He was 6'7" and a point guard, and I thought that was kind of cool. So that's why I liked him. All right, so
final pick.
I need a small forward here. There's definitely a few on here that I like a lot. I'm gonna go with Grant Hill. Grant Hill, another one of those guys that if the injuries didn't curtail and shorten his career, would have been an all-time great. Basically like a walking triple-double. This guy was filling up the stat categories like it was nothing. And of course, one of the most iconic jerseys in the 90s, that awful teal Detroit Pistons.
Yeah,
that ugly jersey. It was popular when we were kids, but it's so horrible. It's terrible. But Grant Hill, an all-time great of the '90s era. You know, coming from Duke University and into the Pistons, he was a great one.
Great sneakers as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
See a lot of these guys.
And another great Sprite commercial.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I'm a cowboy. He's a cowboy.
I love it. That's it. We've done it. We
Obviously, my team would win. Like, I would win the championship.
So what are our final teams?
Okay, so I'll run through it. So here's Duffy's roster. Muggsy Bogues.
A little weak there, but that was more of a, I don't know, sympathy pick.
Muggsy Bogues at the point. He's got Dan Marley at the shooting guard, Anthony Mason at small forward, Charles Oakley, the powerhouse at power forward, and Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon at center.
Well, Duff, with your forwards, you could just have them put Muggsy Bogues on their shoulders, because those two guys, they're like the pillars of the building. They're not going anywhere.
Well, no one's. I could have Hakeem handle the ball too. He was an amazing ball handler too, even for a center. He would pass the ball all the time. So I could have him. Maybe I could have him run point and center. I could just mix it up a little bit.
The options are endless. Either way, you've got Oakley and Mason just clotheslining people as they come into the paint.
No one's scoring on me, so it's okay. We're fine. No one's going to score on me.
You're like the bad boy Pistons of this draft. I like it.
Oh, I need too bad I didn't have Christian Leitner.
Oh.
That would have been another good pick. I didn't see him on our list, right? No, that would have been a good pick.
I don't think he was on there.
Not on there. All right. Cass, let's go through your team.
Mm-hmm.
John Stockton at the point.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie Miller, the Nick Killer, at shooting guard. Dominique Wilkins at the small forward. The mailman, Karl Malone at power forward. And Patty Ewing at center.
Patrick Ewing.
Very solid team here.
Yes, I filled my team up with guys who did not win the championship, so we won the championship.
Became very close.
They
had their world domination on the dream team.
The Olympics.
Most of them.
You're right. That's funny. But hey, they all should have won one if freaking Jordan got in all their ways. Right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And the finger roll got in Ewing's way.
And his own finger roll. Ugh.
Anywho.
Moving along.
Please.
All right. And then this is my team here. Of course, I went with Penny Hardaway at point guard, Michael Air Jordan, shooting guard, Grant Hill at small forward, Rodzilla, Dennis Rodman at power forward, and Shaquille O'Neal at center.
It's tough to say who would win games between games among those three teams.
That'd be good.
It'd be solid.
I would watch that playoff series. It'd be better than anything we got to see right now. I'm sorry. The NBA is just it used to be so good. This was such a good period of basketball, though. Come on, why don't
we got spoiled?
Everything is like super teams now, and just like people just caring about their stats. No one plays defense. Every score is like 140 to 130. Ugh. Sorry.
The early 80s.
Uh-oh. Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
He just got a really thick black beard. Did you see that?
Oh, my. He turned into a pirate.
He turned into who is that closer on the San Francisco Giants? Brian Wilson or something with that?
Brian Wilson, yeah.
So he looks like.
I can't. Ladies and gentlemen, we will edit this out, and then as soon as he rejoins us here, we will fill this out. But enjoy this little moment right now, and this is imagining Stephen Castagna as a pirate.
Arg, mateys.
All right. Oh my God. Yeah, we'll edit this obviously. Okay. We gonna come back in? What's he doing here?
I don't know. Is he texting us?
I didn't even check. Is he saying anything?
Just came back on. His power went out.
Oh no.
Oh God, his modem probably won't restart for 10 minutes. All right, so we really did lose Cast.
Where did he go? He just left us here. I guess he just got pissed off or something. I don't know.
I think Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason may have snuck into his apartment and really cold cocked him right out of his window. So
see,
he won't be.
My team is already paying dividends. This is great.
Badasses.
You can't handle me. Can't.
Wait a minute.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We might.
He's waking up.
Is he bruised?
Oh yeah.
Are you okay? Are you bruised? Do you have any black eyes? Anything? Do you want to talk about it?
We told the
I know.
fans that Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason snuck into your apartment and knocked you out.
Yeah, they're under my desk right now. I kicked the shit out of them.
Oh, nice. All right, there you go. This is like arch
Yeah.
rivals on NES.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, no, what happened is I insulted Anthony Mason, buzzing words and designs into his head, and he got
That's a
mad. So
no-no.
he tripped
Oh,
he tripped the circuit breaker, and I tripped him and threw him on the floor.
Oh,
But
damn. Wow.
yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to say that we grew up in the greatest era of the NBA of all time. Like it from a little bit before we were born, like early '80s into you had the maybe in the late '70s, but you had like Bird and Magic and all those guys, and then into the late '90s, like just team for team and player for player. If you look at all the teams we talk about, teams that should have dominated in any era who just didn't.
Yeah.
The Knicks, the Jazz, the Pacers, the Mavericks at some point, the Heat,
Super
the
Sonics.
Rockets, the Sonics, the Lakers, the Celtics. The Lakers and Celtics were like afterthoughts because by a certain point in the early 90s, like the Bulls took over.
Yeah.
Like, the Pistons were kind of forgotten about. It's crazy. Once the Bulls started their run, that was a team to beat. But yeah, just crazy. The Blazers, the Spurs, like
the Vancouver Grizzlies,
nice.
The Toronto Raptors.
Nice.
I just recently won, but yeah, took them a while.
Took them a long time. Yeah, they weren't going to do it in the 90s.
Amazing teams, amazing players, and like you alluded to, I don't know what you said because I got cut off. I left, but teams playing complete basketball. That defense was a thing.
Yep.
The Pistons were known as the bad boys because their defense would just hammer people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. Kudos to you guys. Great job today. And to echo your sentiments, obviously we chose the 90s because we grew up in it, but it was the best era of basketball. I mean, just such fond memories of it. So many great legendary players. I mean, just all the players that we drafted. We left so many off that are legends.
Mm-hmm.
We were so fortunate to see a lot of these guys play. And
because we had some of those guys. This was more, I mean, with a few exceptions, this was more of a pure 90s thing, I want to say, because you had some of those guys who were holdovers from the 80s. Like we could have easily put in Bird and Magic because they played in the 90s, just not for that long.
Yep, for sure. And obviously, in both ways. And some of these guys that came in late 90s and to the 2000s, like Kobe and Iverson, and those guys were great in the 2000s. So maybe we'll hit that on another episode.
Ooh, yeah.
With a guest to replace me.
We'll let you host that one and throw it to us. All right. So I hope you all enjoyed our first official Scale Snake Draft as we dove into the 90s NBA. Let us know. Did you like our picks? Did you not like our picks? Did we leave any players out that you would have taken? Let us know on social media, on TikTok and Instagram. And be sure to subscribe and like on YouTube. And also, don't forget to check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify for our audio-only versions. And until then, we will... So
I was going to say one thing. Sorry. So even though this is not one of our usual segments, that we post on Apple and Spotify, we normally just do the full episodes and the throwdowns. These will be posted. The Scale Snake Draft will be posted too, because it's basically like a longer version of a throwdown. So these will be available for audio only as well, as opposed to Picks for Duff, Real Talk, Technodrome Follies. So
Picks for Duff.
We'll put out an audio only of this one as well. Sorry to cut you off, Scales.
No, for sure. I hope everyone enjoyed. And until next time, we will see you down the road. Take care.
Bye.